right. Very good. Okay, I'm going to put a screen up real quick. Hello, everybody. We're about ready to get started. Thanks for bearing with us for just a moment here. Okay. Well, welcome, my friends, all across the United States to Laughter Yoga. Just try it. We have a very special guest, so I can't wait to introduce to you in just a moment. My name is Benjamin Sermi. I'm a social gerontologist, and my focus throughout my career has been helping us all, as we age, thrive and continue to grow in new ways. So I'm a bit of a geek, and I like to study all the cool things that are available to us as we're aging, as we're growing, as we are exploring our world. Today, we will be giving away the Caregiver's Care Package by Everyday Caregivers, designed by a licensed family therapist, as well as the Caregiver Journal. If you're interested in entering that drawing, just be sure to go to livingwellevents.org/insights at the end of this presentation, and I will try to remember to put that up again for you. Today's guest is Michele Caskey. She is the author of The Lost Tribe of the Laughing Yippie. I can't wait to read that book. She is laughter yoga coach for Laughter Fusion, and she is a real estate Sherpa with John L. Scott Real Estate Agency. So Michele Caskey, thank you for being on our call today. We're so excited to have you, and please take it away.
I am excited to be here, Benjamin. Thank you so much for inviting me. So welcome everybody we're going to have a little experience of laughter yoga today. And this here, of course, there's so much already in our regular lives that can be challenging and stressful. And now we're in the middle of this pandemic. And of course, every time I say pandemic, I do need to giggle just a little bit. Just to release the stress around that word. But so we've got kind of normal stress, and now we've got some new added stresses. And this is just a wonderful time to learn a little bit about laughter yoga and how it can help kind of, ease the discomfort of the times that we're living in. So I don't know how many of you have heard of laughter yoga before. It's not like any yoga you've ever really known. It's a really unique form of yoga where we use laughing to actually change our body chemistry. So just like a lot of yogas you might know, where you do some stretching, to open up a certain part of the body and like stretch it open. So you're doing this to make some spaciousness around your liver or something, like these yoga teachers might tell you these types of things. And then of course the liver likes that there's spaciousness around it. And so your whole body benefits. With laughter yoga, it's the act of laughing that actually creates some spaciousness in the body and releases a surge of feel-good and healing hormones in the body. And some of these we know about, like endorphins. You hear people talk about endorphins and dopamine and serotonin, and how, when we're stressed or sad or in despair, that we really have not enough of these feel-good hormones in our body. And when we're feeling rather elated, it's because we've got so much endorphins and dopamine and serotonin in our body. So the kind of sneaky little thing here is that the physical act of laughing, and actually the vibration that the laughter makes in the body through the exercise of your diaphragm, is what releases these hormones in the body. So of course, there's all sorts of ways to get a surge of endorphins. For you, it could come from petting a kitten or taking a run or, smelling a rose. I mean, it could, you could get a surge of endorphins from any type of way, but laughter really brings it on strong. And in my practice, and I've been teaching laughter yoga now for 22 years, if you can imagine that, and it has completely revitalized my whole life. And it has given me a really valuable coping mechanism when times get rough. Because what we find and what the science shows is that as little as 5 minutes of laughing just fills our body with these feeling good hormones. And when that happens, an interesting secondary thing happens in your mind. because your mind can tell the difference between what we would call real laughing and what we might call fake laughing, or like I like to call it intentional laughter. Your mind can tell the difference, but once your body gets flooded with these endorphins and your body is in the physical act of laughing, your mind has an interesting response then to the laughter and actually to the world around you. And it quickly will make this little shift that says, well, there's a ton of endorphins here and Michelle's laughing. Something must be funny about this. And so in the real world, when we're out and about having a regular day, the reason we practice laughter yoga is because quite often when we're in that pickle and we know that we could benefit from this surge of feel-good hormones that laughter will bring on, nothing is funny. And we've become very reliant upon something needing to be funny in order to laugh. And people think that the funniness is the thing that is required as a stimulus for the laughter. But what we know from laughter yoga, and there's of course people practicing laughter yoga around the whole world, I didn't make it up. What we know from laughter yoga is that there's all sorts of reasons people laugh. And something being funny is only one of them. You know, when we really study laughter, you find that people laugh when they're trying to impress somebody. People laugh when they're uncomfortable. It's a wonderful way to release extra adrenaline. So you hear people laughing when they're on a roller coaster, for instance, because they're nervous. And children, you know, laugh so much. And really with children laughing so much, what we have discovered is that it's a nonverbal indicator that they're playing. And so kids are laughing as a way of signaling to other kids, yeah, this roughhousing, this running around is fun, we're playing. And that laughter designates that they're playing. And also as kids kind of challenge themselves, they're climbing a tree or they're doing something that's a little bit challenging, it's also a way for them to release pent-up adrenaline and at the same time support the health of their body, mind, and spirit. So kids do laugh a lot because they haven't gotten the memo that something needs to be funny before they laugh. And we can dismantle that whole assumption too. So what I teach is called laughter yoga, and it is just the practice of laughing before anything is funny. And this seems like the silliest thing to do before you try it. But once you try it, you will see that just the physical act of laughing leads you to a very feel good and fun place. And nothing ever needs to be funny. Once you get into that place, of course, everything seems funny. So that's when those endorphins have hit your mind, then your mind starts seeing funny things, amusing things in the world around you. And in my practice, you know, what I like to say is the quicker that you can become amused by a challenging situation, the more resilient you will be in all of life. And as you become adept in practicing laughter yoga or become a laughter yoga enthusiast, like I like to call my community of laughter people around me, the more you will see that, you know, when the world shows up as kind of challenging, or you're uncomfortable, or you're frightened, or you're angry, that just a little bit of laughing can really just take the edge off of that so quick. And it really becomes something very easy to do. And once you know how to do it, then your body's kind of primed to kind of make you go there. So like if I spill something, or, you know, I get a piece of mail that's made me kind of stressed out, like the very first thing that I will do is just give a little and the more that you do that, and oh, even just by doing that just right now, I can kind of feel myself relax a little bit. So it's called laughter yoga. We do it all around the whole world. And the idea of it is we are going to begin laughing before anything's funny, which I'm going to show you how. We're going to warm up and do it together. And then we're going to sustain that laughter for a little bit longer than you might normally laugh if something was funny. Normally something's funny, you laugh, ha, 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 and then you're done and you're on to the next thing. We're going to try to laugh for maybe a minute or maybe even 2 minutes at a time. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. And just like in a yoga class where they might have you stretch and hold it, In this case, it's the laughing that we're holding. So we're going to go through also a little series of postures, and we're going to do a little abbreviated, 20 minutes of laughing here today. Normally my classes, we might laugh for 45 minutes. Oh, can you imagine how good you feel after that? We're going to feel really, really good after 20 minutes. 5 minutes is all you need to really get that feeling good started. So we're going to go through a series of postures, and our postures are laughter yoga postures. So they're not going to be like downward facing dog and laughing. These are just a series of things we kind of do with our body to get our body out of autopilot and into a place where it's receptive to ridiculousness and like silly. Of course, I am very serious about the silliness, but we want to get our body into that receptive place where it doesn't really know what we're doing. In this, and so we're going to go through a series of postures, and we're going to laugh while we do it. And it doesn't really matter the body. We're going to have some things we're doing with the body. And as I kind of do gestures, just follow me with the gestures, because they're all designed to start kind of loosening up the body. And there are things that we probably haven't done yet today. Like we haven't done these things today. And they're not so much strength exercises, fingers, as they're kind of designed to exercise, just open us up to a little being ridiculous. And you would be surprised, how much just even a little tidbit of ridiculousness feels so good to your body, because quite often we're just on autopilot and we're just going about our day and we're doing it the same way all the time. And when we kind of can do something, anything that we haven't done yet today, it wakes us right up, and our body's like, oh, something different is happening here. I don't know what it is. I'm not quite sure I know how to interpret this. But, when we have an ability to kind of surprise ourselves, we throw ourselves right off of autopilot. And sometimes our autopilot is the part that's keeping us worried or stressed or upset about something. And so if we can kind of clear out the autopilot, then we have made a good jump start to feeling better. Okay, so that's just kind of a quick synopsis of what we do. I am available for laughter yoga consultations. So if you ever need to laugh, we're going to get you hooked up with my contact information. And, I'm available here to help you laugh. But so today we're going to get started. Now we're sitting down, which is fine. I'm going to get up to show you a couple of exercises, but we can do everything we're doing today either sitting or standing, depending on where you are and what you want to do. It is the laughing that's going to make such a shift in our body. So that's the most important part. And then a lot of the movements that we do with our hands or our legs are just really for fun. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is
real quick. Do you want anybody on the video with you doing it?
Oh, hey, if there's people, if I can see them, that would be wonderful. And it's not necessary, obviously, but if there are people, then that would be cool.
April, are you there? April, are you there, April?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay! Joy's here with me, and so is my entire team.
Wonderful.
And all the lovely DCRs. Woohoo!
Video for us.
Start your video. Oh, yes.
Is there anybody else you wanted to join you today, or is there anybody else?
Come on in.
Got someone raising their hand. All right, Shelly, I'm gonna get you in there. Hold on a second. Shelly. Keisha.
Come on, Miss Ann. Come on, ladies.
Okay, good. We got several.
I'll be back. I just got shut down. I'm coming back.
Hold on a second. Very good. Hey, Shelly, good to see you. Right, very good. Thank you, Akisha. Thanks for being here. Hey, Akisha.
Hello.
Your video. All right. Okay, I think you can go ahead and get started there.
Okay, wonderful. So at the beginning of a laughter yoga gathering around the whole world, you'll see us start with a little laughter mantra. And it's very ridiculous because there's no good reason to say this, The mantra goes ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. That's when we actually just say it out loud. Now, the other thing that we found is that to do any cross-body movement is also very relaxing and reduces stress. So we're just going to warm up with a little ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And as we do it, we're going to clap our hands across the body. So it looks like this. And then join me. It goes ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Everybody join me. Ho,
Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha.
ho, ha, ha, ha.
Ha, ha.
Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Very good. Now that seems like it's not that big of a deal, but the science has actually shown us that even the expectation that you're going to laugh releases a trickle of endorphins. And so if something really unpleasant has just happened and you know you'd feel better if you were laughing, but you don't know how to start, the best way to start is with a ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Because as we go through this class, you're going to know that we're done with an exercise because I'm going to start ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And then I want you to join me ho, ho, ha, 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 just a little bit so that your body starts to know that there is no good reason to ho, ho, ha, 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 except that you're going to laugh next. Oh, the madness of science. Isn't it wonderful? Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is I want to hear some of these tones of laughing. Okay, we think that laughing is mostly ha, 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 but actually there's laughter that resonates in all different parts of the body. And so it's kind of fun to practice with how they feel different. So for instance, the lowest tone of laughing is a sound called huh, huh, huh. Everybody just say huh, huh, huh. And then when we laugh it, it's going to sound like oh, everybody join me. Very good. Now, I know that doesn't sound like how we would normally laugh if something was funny, but the body recognizes that as laughing because we're actually making the vibration of laughing in the body. And so that kind of there's something very satisfying about that sound. And the body is like, oh, Shelley's laughing, you know, even though it sounds kind of strange to our ear. Now, the next tone, if we move just kind of more up to the belly, we've got our ho, ho, ho. So everybody just say ho, ho,
ho, ho, ho.
Very good. And when we laugh it, of course, with a big round mouth, it sounds like ho, 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 oh, that feels good. Okay, very, very good. So we got oh my God, it takes absolutely nothing to get my endorphins flowing. I just got to warn you guys because I'm already feeling so good. Okay. Then our next one is the one we're familiar with, our ha, ha, ha. So if everybody could just say ha, 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 ha. And when we laugh it, of course, it sounds like very good. So we've got very good. Now there's a weird throat sounding laughter that is a hey, hey, hey. So could you just say hey, 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 hey? I usually make this when I do it. I don't know why. Hey, 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 hey. And when we laugh, it sounds like hey, hey, hey. So we've got isn't it interesting? They all sound a little different, right? And then we've got our top one, which is our he. Everybody just say he. And then when we laugh it sounds like very good. So we've got very good, you guys. And you are doing laughter yoga. So little golf clap for any of you who are doing it for the first time. You're just doing it. Okay. Wonderful. Now, one of the exercises which I use all the time is an exercise I call the squeegee. And so, you know, a squeegee is that device you use to just like wipe the dirty water off a window when you're washing a window, right? So we're going to do a squeegee where we're going to squeegee ourselves. So our hand movement is just going to go squeegee, okay? Kind of at the bottom, it just kind of whisks it away, right? Like this. Now, as we do this, we're going to laugh in a little laughter cadence, okay? And so we're going to link together the he and the ha and the ho. So when we put them together, it sounds like he ha ho. And then as we do that, we're going to do the squeegee. So it looks like this. Join me. Ho ho ha 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 ho ho Now that squeegee exercise can come in so handy when you know you just need to do a couple of minutes of laughing, because you can just kind of get on this loop of doing this laughter cadence, and it feels really good to the body. Now, we did a laughter exercise last night at my laughter club, and well, it seems perfect for a pandemic. Every time I say pandemic, I make myself giggle. Okay, that just feels better. Okay,
it does.
So, the exercise is called "What do we do now?" Okay, because I don't know, it seems like I'm asking that question a lot. What do we do now?
What do we do?
In this exercise, we've only got 3 options of what we can do, okay? We can chop, or we can wash our hair, or we can talk on the phone, okay? And those are the only 3 things we can do. So as we do this exercise, we're gonna say, what do I do now? And then we're gonna laugh while we, what do I do now? What do I do now? And you can just go between those 3 things, okay? Everybody, what do I do now?
What do I do now?
What do I do now?
Now. What do I do now? There's Ann.
What do I do now?
What do I do now? What do I do now?
What do I do now? Oh, very good. Ho ho ha ha. Ho ho ha ha. Ho ho ha. Ho ho. You could modify that because it could be, what do I do now? Oh, I stir. What do I do now? I wave. What do I do now? I write a check. You could just move it between any three things in your life. And I find with the laughter yoga is it's very powerful to link something that's causing you a frustration or anxiety in your life to laughing. So if something like folding laundry, if folding laundry is making you feel anxious, then turn it into a laughter exercise. If you're upset about washing dishes, and whatever it could be anything, right? If you're upset about paying bills, turn it into a laughter exercise, because your body can't really distinguish between mental anxiety with physical relaxation. So when you're causing physical relaxation from the laughter yoga, but your mind is kind of pent up with something stressful, the mind quickly just jettisons the stressful thing. It cannot do these at the same time. I only know this from lots and lots of practice, okay? There's a thing I want to show you in that vein, and it's called kitchen flamingo. I call it kitchen flamingo because I usually do it in my kitchen. So kitchen flamingo, and I'm just going to stand up to show this to you. Kitchen flamingo is just an exercise where we're going to stand on one leg with our hands up like we're a flamingo, and we're going to laugh out loud, okay?
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Can everybody guess what we're going to do in our next meeting?
Kitchen flamingo comes in handy because what we have found is that to balance on one leg and laugh out loud and think about something with your mind at the same time is impossible. You actually, it's too many things. Like your brain just cannot do all of those things all at once. And so if you've got really a thought worm in your head, which is continuing to make you upset or worried about something, the quickest way to get rid of it is kitchen flamingo.
That is awesome.
It is like, it's a little miracle, little tidbit, and you only have to do it for about a minute. So that's wonderful. There's another exercise we're going to do, because I don't know, in this pandemic, pandemic. So in this pandemic, times that we feel high, and there's going to be times when we feel low, and there's going to be times we feel high, and then we feel low. And of course, this is happening in our regular life too. It just seems a little bit worse right now when we're all cooped up, for people who are cooped up. And so when you notice this is happening, that you've gone from high to low, I recommend a laughter exercise that's called high-low. And just like you could go high-low, this is something you could do with your hand even. You could just go high-low, high-low. And as you're doing it, of course, we're going to laugh. Or if you're brave enough to do it, to try to do it with your body, it's not going to look graceful, but it looks like this. Oh, very good. Right? Like, doesn't that feel good?
Yes.
So just another tidbit, like a coping mechanism tidbit. This might be all we have time for today. There's a few words that I like to say out loud, and then I'll laugh after that I say them. So these you can do anytime, even in the middle of handling something else. And these words are whoa, wow, and bing. going bing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Okay. Like you could have a mess, you could have a disaster. I don't know. You could have anything. And I just want you to look at it and I just want you to go bing.
Bing.
Oh boy.
Pandemic.
It also feels very good to just go, wow.
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 And if you're really having in a pickle, you could go, wow. Bing. Wow.
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 Ho, ho,
Oh,
ho, 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 ho. Goodness sakes, you guys, that was just 20 minutes of laughing. I cannot even believe how fast time flies when you start laughing. And how do your bodies feel good? I mean, I can see it on your faces that you feel good, right? And we just like started doing it. So this has been just a little taste of laughter yoga. And this is how easy it is to start laughing for no reason, just as a way of stimulating a release of stress and getting that flow of good feeling just surging through your body. And then the mental benefits that come after your body feels so good are just multifold. So as we kind of enter into this next period of time, I'm so glad that you could join me today. And for a little taste of laughter yoga, I guess that is it. Benjamin, back to you.
Wow, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Michele, for being here today.
thank you, Michele.
Thank
you, Michele.
So Michele has a few resources that she would like us to send you. So I will be sending those to all of our community relations directors. And if you registered with us, you'll get that if you go to this address. Let me show you real quick. Go to this address. This is Michele's email if you do want to contact Michele. And if you'll go to, give me one second, this address right here, you will be able to get whatever resources Michele is planning to send us, as well as information about upcoming events. We have all kinds of unique reminiscing experts, movement experts. We have people who are specialists in dementia, all kinds of great resources coming up. So any last words, Michele? Any last words of wisdom for us all?
Just laugh more, stress less is what I tell everybody. And the hardest part of this is just to think to do it when you're really having a crappy day. And we all have them. And so I recommend just going into a walk-in closet or a small bathroom and just spending 2 or 3 minutes with yourself laughing.
Oh.
Well, thank me later.
Thank you all. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
Bing.
Bing. Pandemic.